How are things going? Talk to me.
Yeah, I'm good. I don't know. It's going well, I guess.
Okay. I hope I didn't get the calendar wrong. Like, this is one of our days, right?
Yeah, no, it is.
Okay. I was, like, worried for a second. I was like, oh, no. So, what do you think? Like, I know that we talked from last time. I think that you mentioned the Jigglypuff matchup, which is something that we
Yeah.
might want to look into, which makes sense. Do you have any VODs for that? And I just kind of wanted to kind of confirm. Yeah, like I just wanted to pick your brain really to start. Like, how do you see today being productive?
Yeah, I have a VOD of the set I played against Khalid.
Mhm.
I guess there's also a VOD of Dreffen versus Khalid from last year where Dreffen won using Sheik and Zelda, which could maybe be interesting to look at. I don't know.
Like a compare and
Either way.
contrast.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
I don't know.
I mean, like, let's take a look at. I think just starting with yours makes some amount of sense.
Yeah.
And then and then from there we can kind of figure it out. Yeah, so let's see here. So I'm just going to pull this onto the screen and we'll share. So talk to me about this matchup. Like, I know that you said that you're thinking that it might make sense to start on Zelda, which I agreed with, because, like, denies certain options from the Jigglypuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think I've been thinking a lot about it. I think it's I find it interesting that the conclusion people came to was start as Sheik when Puff is at low percent and you're at low percent, I guess. Which to me seems like the worst part of that matchup, right?
Yeah, like,
And
let's
then-
play Sheik to her weaknesses.
Yeah.
Because you also
I
get
just like never made sense to me. But I would sometimes do it and be like, I don't know. But this set I think I mostly played Zelda. I don't think I did that much switching. Like I think I played Sheik one game, like just Sheik one game and lost.
I mean, right now, like, Zelda's looking really
Yeah,
good
he gets
here.
absolutely shit on this game. This is like this is the only game I win. I like all those four stock moves. It was really funny.
This is the platonic ideal of Zelda. Like, it's just, it's just everything's going your way.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so let me
Follow
ask.
this,
Oh
follow
my
this.
god, that hitbox! Like, what was that? Like, can we talk about this? Like, what? Like, what?
Yeah,
Oh, I get it. It hit her
It was the
feet.
dare, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense, kind of. Like, I'm willing to concede that sort of makes sense. He's not having a good time, though. He looks miserable. I could see the argument... Okay, so I could see the argument for starting on Sheik if they play, like, super lame on, like, a big level, but on these small levels...
Yeah.
I would say that Zelda looks pretty good on these small levels.
No, I agree 100%. Like if they're like circle camping on Dreamland, then I definitely think you want to go Sheik because I don't know what Zelda does against that, honestly.
Same thing that she
But-
always does. She just, like, kicks anyway.
Yeah, I guess. But
I'm not saying
I
it's a
don't know.
good strategy. I'm just saying it's what she has.
yeah.
Okay, so this went, like, swimmingly. Makes sense, makes sense. So then we go game 2. Yeah, he's not having a good time. He's just like, man, why did I just play Zelda Puff on Fountain of Dreams in Grand Finals?
He just goes back though. That's the crazy thing.
This
I'm
man.
like, okay, but then I think he started like actually playing the game starting now. So
So if Jigglypuff is doing this sort of thing, like, I think that this is something we might want to, like, look into, like, what the counterplay is. Like, so in this situation, with him just kind of, like, vibing off stage here, one thing I'm curious about, what do you think, like, I feel like Zelda, because of the sheer power and, like, range on her moves, probably isn't, like, the worst character at, like, stealing the edge and, like, going for, like, in ledge hop aerial on Jigglypuff in the universe.
yeah, that makes sense. I think.
Yeah, like, I'm not saying, like, this is a good plan, but, like, if he's gonna, like...
Good.
Okay, yeah, this is going pretty well, actually.
Yeah.
So, I think that... Yeah. So, there's two things I'm curious about. One, at what point do we switch back to Sheik?
Yeah.
Because with her at 67 and like us at 52, I feel like this is pretty ideal for turning back.
I think so too. Like I don't know, because a lot of people say like, yeah, once Puff is at like this percent, you want to be Zelda because one kick will kill, which
like,
I guess is true. But like,
how likely is it that she's gonna give you that kick though? Like she's not gonna
exactly.
Yeah.
And like another thing is like,
because we get knocked out of position whenever we get hit now.
Yeah. That too. Like Zelda's recovery is actually like it's better in some ways because it goes a lot further, but like the fact that her up B is vulnerable like all the way until she teleports, actually makes it like you can kind of get like destroyed off stage, especially against Puff. So I kind of disagree with people that say that too, that like when you're at higher percents you want to be Zelda because you can recover better, and like that kind of doesn't always seem true to me at all. I don't know.
No, I get what you mean, and the one thing I'd point out is that it wasn't like one hit that, like, from that 67%, it's not like it was one hit, it was 2 hits. And, like, look at how many, like, exchanges you have in between, right? So, like, I feel like, so I think that, like, one thing that, like, that's worth looking at is, so what's the point at which we turn back into what's the point where we turn back into Sheik? I'd argue, like, when you get this big opening here, like, you get a big conversion here with that, like, where you, like, kick him, like, twice or something.
Yeah, like right here.
Yeah, like, you get the kick into thing, and, like, I think that at this point, when he's recovering off stage from the forward smash, this is where you gotta turn back.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, too. Like, once Puff gets, like, this mid-high percent, I think it's good to be Sheik again.
Is there a way that we can, like, turn that into, like, a formal... Like, is there a way that we can, like, formalize that a little bit? Like, maybe we can use I Need Data for this a little bit. Because I'm thinking... Here's what I'm thinking. Like, when do our tilts and things, like, knock her over?
Like, yeah, I'm not sure about...
But, like, that... Sense. Right, but that makes sense, though, on some level, right? Like, because if she's, like, if she's popped up while crouching, which it looks like she is from our forward tilt here... then that, like, changes the texture of the matchup, like, pretty tremendously. Like, crouching, holding down, like, she's, crouching true, trajectory DI down. Okay, what the heck, I need data. Like, don't BS me. I know that she's not popped up from this. So, snap to surface is on. And trajectory DI, ASDI down. Okay, so it was being done. So, when does this knock... So, it knocks over around... So, this is actually pretty close. Like, it's around 72. So, yeah, this is close, I'd say. Like, if she's at 67 and F-tilt knocks over Crouching Puff at 72, i.e. we're allowed to use it on Crouching Puff around 72, then, yeah, we're 5 damage off. I'd say transforming makes a ton of sense here.
Okay, yeah. That's pretty much what I was thinking too. Like, just like basically the complete opposite of what people who usually do this do. Like, I don't know. Kind of funny.
I mean, you know what though? Like, I think that this makes sense because, like, we get to, like, Sheik's whole superpower is that she's got, like, all these, like, different threats that she never gets to use versus Jigglypuff until high percent. And then Zelda's whole problem is she has, like, 3 moves that work, but, like, she only has, like, a handful of moves that, like, actually do anything. But, like, at the same time, you know, the moves that she has are quite... One of their main upsides is that they're really good at, like, these lower percents.
Yeah. No, exactly. Like, even at, like, lower percent, you can get, like, actual, like, strong kick into strong kick combos.
Yeah.
Which would be, like, 40%.
Yeah,
and, like,
it's so dumb. Like,
against CC, it's, yeah, there's just a lot of stuff that... I don't know, yeah.
Or, like, weak hit, or at, like, 35, like, to, like, 50, you can get, like, weak hit strong kick sometimes. Like, it's just, she has some gnarly stuff. Or, like, even just weak hit, like, into down smash, into, like, if they try to, like, fight through it, you just keep down smashing, like...
Yeah, no, exactly, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like it's... Do you have enough time to charge needles there off the vertical kill and then turn back? Probably not.
Maybe like 2 needles or something. Yeah, I don't know.
It's not worth it. Yeah. It's not enough for me to be interested. That's another thing actually though. The like, if we kill like we're better at like doing our maintenance stuff by like doing it in the other order too. Because like, if we turn into like Zelda, like if we're Zelda at the start, we turn into Sheik and kill Jigglypuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then we charge our needles and turn back into Zelda, we're actually, like, ordering more effectively for, like, having needles and stuff into the next interaction, which I find funny.
Yeah. I didn't think about that, but yeah, that's true.
Yeah, like, the order of operations makes way more sense.
Yeah, I also think it's funny that when you die as Zelda and you have needles charged, that you, like, keep them in the next talk.
I think that's really awesome.
Weird.
Like this should be turning back into Sheik right away.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, because I think that like the way that the low percent works out against her is like actually quite good for Zelda. But yeah, like we're just lingering on her for too long.
Yeah, I guess the only other thing I'd say is like maybe in this scenario it's still better to play Zelda because like if you go Sheik, then at least these like lower percents you're actually still at like a high risk of getting rested, kind of. So well, like it might be worth taking into account like your percent as well.
Oh yeah. I guess my question here is: so are you saying you wouldn't turn back into Sheik here after landing this? Like let's assume
maybe, I don't know.
Let's assume that we're Sheik with a full stack of neat. Like let's assume that we do everything, we order properly on everything, like the way that where our strategy is being kind of like moving towards. So we land this kick, we have full stack of needles with Sheik. If we turn back to Sheik, do we with full stack? Do you think we do it here or not?
I think we probably do. But I think the thing about like getting rested is a lot of it does depend on their percent, because like once CC stops working as well, then like rest becomes
like so much harder. Yeah.
So I think it is worth it, especially if you have a full stack of needles.
Well, because we just identified like we're also at the F tilt percent, right? So she can't crouch in front of us. She can't crouch in front of us. She can't like we've got 18 in needles potentially just to like hit her with to put her into kill percent with Sheik. The needles can also be used because she's at a high percent. We can also potentially like needle into something like needles, like falling needles down tilt up air. Like that's the thing we can play for here. Yeah, I think it makes sense to turn back. Like especially if we're like following the way our strategy is like structured, like to its like, you know, the way we're kind of like mapping it out. I think it makes a ton of sense here. God, is this going to be how we, like, finally have that, like, fabled, like, 55-45 disadvantage versus Jigglypuff? Where, like, we just play Zelda properly?
It's revolutionary.
Honestly, I kind of like it, though.
Yeah. I mean, J-Mook has been beating Hungrybox, so we win. That's how it works.
Yeah, he won 2 sets out of, like, 15, and it's like, yeah, we got this.
He's won the last 3. He's on a 3-set win streak.
Oh, then maybe should we just go Sheik and just be like, should we just go Sheik?
No.
What exactly is he doing against Hungrybox that's so good?
I don't know.
Maybe we should watch that.
Yeah, that might also be worth looking at. I think the Sheik part of this matchup is the one that I need a lot more work on than the Zelda part for sure, honestly. But
I think that there's potential in the Zelda part though, because like, so like here's one like cleanup. So when he does this up smash out of shield, one thing I'm noticing about how you kick, you seem to kick with the A button, don't you? Because it looks like you're drifting forward.
I think I usually kick with C6. Like I don't know why I drifted there, but I don't know. Maybe there are some times that I do it with A and I don't even realize it. But But yeah, like there I definitely needed the drift back.
Yeah, because you can't be missing those. Like those are huge.
You just need to stop using side B altogether. That was so bad.
Yeah, what would we do here instead? Could we have blocked that? Like, were you still in lag?
I think I was still lagging. Let me see. I don't know. Let's see.
Oh my god, you were. Or you were just like, yeah, you were like, he actually had like perfect punishment. What the heck? That move is so bad, yeah.
Yeah, it's just like, I swear, like Zelda brain rot. It's just like using that move. Like I see so many Zeldas use it. I'm like, what are you doing? And then I play Zelda and I use him. Like, yeah, never mind. We all just need to stop using this move.
Is there Nair? Like, can you like go up there with? Can you like put threaten with Nair when she does this stuff like this at all? Like, let's say you don't side B, right? Like,
yeah.
Could you like Nair into anything, or just Nair and like try to get the damage? Like just like because she does this like full hop Nair. I don't know.
I think so. It's just for like damage or to like try and control space a little. Yeah, I don't know. I think I could use Nair more. It's kind of a weird move, but I think it has some uses, especially when like Puff is, I don't know, in weird ranges where like she's too close to you for the like sweet spot kicks. It seems maybe kind of.
I'm just one. I mean, like it hits on 6 and it hits above you, kind of. Like it's not the worst move I've seen. I guess I'm just wondering, like, is this because it can hit a bunch of times and like has weird knockback, like, and does like a weird amount of damage. Maybe there's a way that we can like hit her out of position with it, like, and then also get to like the point where we can turn back to Sheik. I don't know, something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, that is another thing too. Is like sometimes you don't really have good opportunities to turn into Sheik if you don't get like a
kick.
If you don't get like a sweet spot kick, yeah, which makes it kind of annoying.
Yeah. So what do you think that how far? Well, actually, this is where needles can actually be used to bridge the percents a little bit. So like at here you got this kick at 57, right? So if you have a full stack of needles, that means that you can actually get her to the F tilt percent just by hitting the needles themselves, right? So like maybe it's whenever maybe it's whenever the kick plus the stack of needles does it.
Yeah.
Because like 72 off Zelda with Zelda is like a lot, but 57 off Zelda is like not that much.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Because the other percent.
That could be like 2 openings.
Yeah, like 2 openings I think is reasonable. Getting a 3rd or 4th I think is like. That's a little. Now we're starting to get into the realm of like this is a little ambitious.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's only one level that we'd go with. We'd go with this strategy. And then we start on Sheik. Okay, bold. I see.
Yeah, I was just trying to like kind of just try things out. So I think I went all Sheik this game because I also when I played him in winners, I think I went mostly Sheik. And I won 1 game on this stage. So yeah, I don't know. I think. Yeah, I don't know.
No, it's all good. It's funny though.
Yeah.
No, like it. I get that there's some times where like you're just trying stuff out to see what works.
Yeah.
And it's like, as a result, there's going to be things that look like there's going to be character picks that look kind of funny in a vacuum. Yeah.
Yeah, so here I was trying to like.
The Dreffen strat?
Yeah, the Dreffen strat.
Yeah, it's interesting how like we viewed it this way, but like it looks so awkward to like. It feels like it feels like we're playing to like the character's like weaknesses almost.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm thinking too.
Like I don't feel like we're getting these hits because like the character's good at getting these hits. I feel like we're getting these hits because he's caught off guard because he's not used to it.
Yeah.
But whereas like when we're playing Zelda at low percent, like Zelda at low percent, being like a really floaty character, sometimes just gets trades and stuff because where she profits. Like, that I think is just like a kind of a byproduct. But when we're both at high percent, we don't have those working for us too. Like, it just doesn't look good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I know that the way that Crudo plays this. I think that if we watched anyone versus Jigglypuff, the person I would recommend watching is Crudo. I don't know if you've seen him play that matchup, but he's very, very good at it, from what I've seen.
I haven't watched his... Just in general, I haven't watched him that much, honestly, but against Jigglypuff, I haven't, man.
Yeah. Do you want to watch him take a look... After this game, do you want to take a look at him to get some ideas on, like, what we could do with the Sheik side? Because I think he does that one really, really well.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah. Because I feel like the Dreffen side is just going to be like this game, but like, just not like this game, but like just a successful version of it because it's like a year old.
Yeah.
Like, Khalid's probably gotten better.
I mean, he's I don't know. He's a strange player. Yeah.
Why?
See, like, stuff like that is like what makes me wonder, like, why would you play Sheik when you're a low percent? I guess I don't know.
So let's look at your footing here. So one thing I would say here is I would never I would try to, like, not to play in this spot. In general. Yeah. Like, especially, like, you see how you moved back? Like, there's kind of a zone that, like, when you're in this matchup, you kind of try to avoid being trapped on the platforms in general, for that kind of thing. You'll see what I mean with, like, how when we watch Crudo, you'll see what I mean.
Okay.
Yeah. Biggest thing there, yeah. So, like, you're not like that. I'm pretty sure that up tilt is, like, shield grabbable, but the big thing I notice is that, like, the way that you're choosing to, like, a lot of these interactions look, like, very uncomfortable. So let's, like, take a look at Crudo SDJ, and I'll show you kind of what this is a match I use a lot. These are some matches I use a lot. Let's watch from here onwards. So let's watch this Yoshi's in Dreamland game, and you'll see what I mean. So, from the beginning. So, one thing I want to point out, what are you noticing in terms of, like, how he moves around?
Well, he's just crouching a lot is one thing, but...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas a lot of those spots are ones where you're going to shield.
Yeah.
So, like, why do you think the crouch works better?
Well, you can, like, CC punish aerials that you couldn't, like, punish out of shield.
Right, and also...
You can dash back.
Well, look at how, if you're shielding, you're a big target, right? Like, your character occupies this space, whereas if you're crouching, you're this big. So if Jigglypuff, when she's jumping around to hit you, wants to hit you, she has to do late falling aerials, which are much easier to anti-air.
Yeah.
See how he's just like, and then he crouches under that one, and then just boom. So crouching big, crouching super, super, super important. The other thing I want to point out is that how often he, like, just opts to not play a spot. Like, he just says, like, I'm out of here. See what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So the reason he goes inward on that down throw, I think, is because if he does the rest here and hits him on the corner, he gets the tipped up smash punish. Like, if Jigglypuff lands on the interior part of the side, like, lands there on the side platform. Which I don't think kills him at that percent, but, like, it is... I think it's around, like, 23 or something that it does. So it's very early, very powerful. Very good thing to like make Jigglypuff be aware of.
Yeah, that makes sense. And these up tilts in the platformer owning him.
They're so strong.
Yeah.
And like you'll notice, he's just not like advancing. Like, so here's the thing about the spots he's playing. So he's not going all the way forward because like he doesn't want to get back thrown. But he's also staying like a certain distance from the platform behind him too. So he doesn't, if he does get down thrown here, he doesn't get really like put into the platform trap.
Yeah.
So it's like he's putting a lot of pressure on Jigglypuff's like position. Like he's removing a lot of the firepower from Jigglypuff's positioning. And then he just gets out of there. He just goes back to his thing. He gets back to his thing. Just poking. Never doing anything unsafe. Like, see what I mean? Just all frame traps all the time.
Yeah.
Gets that hit too.
Yeah, this is crazy.
So, like, what are you noticing? What are you noticing about what he's doing compared to what you're doing?
Well, the thing we talk about is crouching a lot more, but just like, I feel like he's just pressuring really well in spots that Sheik is good, and then like you said, disengaging when it's not a good spot for him.
Yeah, like this right here. Like he's now like SDJ gets below him, and even though he could probably, if he wanted to like try to, he might have been able to punish that dash attack. Like, why would he bother? He just like he can go to top platform. He can set up a good diagonal approach from the top platform from a spot where Jigglypuff really doesn't have anything to defend herself, and then he just comes down.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why would he do anything that doesn't work? And like, granted, there SDJ was able to like basically hard read his fall with an up smash at 142 to like get the kill, but like, that's so much work.
Yeah.
That was a greedy ass up smash, but like, he's also at 0 and ready to AFDI down, so what does Jigglypuff do about that, really?
Yeah, that's true.
Trades to get a kill with a Nair, because it's like big and out forever, and then he's just already out there. He's already out of there. He's just like, I want my diagonals, I want my good spots, I just want to do like things, and now he can take more risks, because if she rests, she probably like, yeah, she can't do anything with them. I can't believe he went for that. Like, I can, because he's like gonna win. He's like basically won this game, but like, that's funny.
Yeah.
If Jigglypuff drifted into that though, the Jigglypuff does lose though.
Yeah.
And you can see how many more risks he's taking now that like SDJ can't like, do anything like interesting.
Yeah.
Like, he's actually playing the lead really, he's gambling on the lead really effectively.
Mm-hmm.
Now, against all this gambling, would you be surprised if I told you that SDJ counterpicks Dreamland?
No.
All right. Would you be surprised if I told you that the next game goes arguably worse than that one for the Jigglypuff?
I would be surprised, yeah.
Well, let's find out what happens. So same dynamic though, like same dynamic that we're seeing. Like, Kruda's really not really playing in any spots where he's not like tremendously favored in, or like naturally strong in. SDJ's doing his Jigglypuff thing. That was nonsense, whatever.
Yeah.
Life goes on.
Huh.
He messed up the me combo. It's okay. I do like those jumps below.
Yeah.
This should have been a Nair, by the way. Look at all of this that's open.
Yeah.
Short up Nair. It's fine. But yeah, this is that position. Remember, like, you'll notice with these high platforms that are kind of spread out, it's hard for SDJ to know. Like, it's hard for SDJ to do a lot with his, like, throws and grabs. Because there's these, like, the platforms, he's not really playing in the down throw spots.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing I want to point out here is look at how he does this fair. You saw that, right? Like, how he just kind of, like, came over and gracefully slapped her. Like, as she's about to touch the platform, it's just slightly above the platform as she's about to touch it that he does it. See?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So why do you think he attacks this area of the platform? Let me ask you, how does SDJ counter hit him for this? Can he counter hit him for this?
It looks hard to counter hit. Maybe.
Why? What happens if SDJ puts out a move?
It might trade is the only thing I can think of, but
there is a bigger
even
problem.
though that's well, he's gonna land.
Yeah. So his so his biggest the problem is that like her hitbox is already out, and if he lands, then if he does either of these, then he's just gonna land here and lag anyway. So the platform is stopping him from doing the one thing he wants to do, which is defend himself. Like, he's actually trying to wave land here. He's air dodging. But it doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
So then, yeah, it's just Crudo has created a spot where there's nothing that... SDJ effectively has no moves here. Because the attacks get stopped. Attacks bump platform. So because they bump into the platform, like, they all just get, like, this is acting as an umbrella for Crudo to, like, set up whatever he wants to from below. So he's just having to choose slap. This is also how his up tilts work, kind of, on the previous level. But it's just up tilt doesn't go through this platform in the same way. So, like, he has to use his aerials. Like, this is not going better this is not going better at all.
Yeah.
One thing I want to emphasize, I actually think this level can be a trap for Jigglypuff sometimes in this matchup, because if you're losing neutral, Jigglypuff, like, I think that her biggest problems in this matchup have to do with neutral, and this level doesn't really like do anything to like assist that weakness.
Yeah.
Like, see,
it's also something I've heard Sparks say that, like, especially if the Jigglypuff is good at like RTC rest on platforms, and this stage is actually like weirdly like one of your best stages in a matchup, which I think is funny. At least I don't know if I don't know how true that really is, but I know he believes that.
Well, how does she get us onto the platforms, right? They're so spread out.
Yeah, like,
huge.
It makes sense. Yeah, that you're not like just randomly gonna get down throw platform tech chase rested, and like unlike Yoshi's or even like other stages that are traditionally considered good for Sheik. So it's just kind of funny.
So I want to point out again, we have this dynamic going on here, right? Because, like, this is the same hit that he got in this interaction, but happening over here now. In that he's just waiting for Jigglypuff to be within about this space. So Crudo, like, SDJ will be green because he's player 4. But he's just really waiting for Jigglypuff to be anywhere within about this airspace. And then he's just putting out his back air. Or, like, some giant move that, like, covers this zone.
Yeah.
See what I mean? It's just like, boom. Because, like, her back air, like, hits slightly above this. Her fair hits, like... So it's just... He's just waiting for her to be, like, somewhere in this general vicinity, and then it's just, like, cover... No, fair. Or fair. Or nair. But usually not nair, because these two are better... These two have better hitboxes. So, like...
Yeah.
But it's just covering this, like, general space above it. And then, because SGJ has to go there... And his attacks are getting eaten by the platform anyway. He just keeps going. And you can see, like, every time that SDJ goes above the platforms, like, that's basically what his game, like, that's basically what he starts doing.
Yeah. Wow. Awesome smash.
Yep. And you'll notice he just keeps moving. He's just moving. Like, he sees this spot with Jigglypuff on the ground in front of him, and he's like, I mean, I could, but why would I?
Yeah.
He's like, no, I can just, like, wait for her to, like, overextend, and then I can just play that same position, like, that same grounded me versus her thing from a better angle when she's, like, committed to something.
Yeah.
Because he sees her wave dash here, and then, like, wave dash into that spot, and she hasn't crouched, so she's doing an attack, she's doing something, because why else would she be standing still? And then he's just like, okay, I'm gonna kick her now. Perfect edge cancel. And you'll notice there was no good option off that throw here. So, like, if he down throws, he misses the platform. He doesn't go far enough. If he back throws, he edge cancels. Like, there's no good option here.
Yeah.
So, like, let's actually save that one, because it's, like, kind of meaningful. So, like, this is, I think, like, you're asking, like, why would I play Sheik in this matchup at low percent? Well, because, like, she's so restable. Well, if we take her throw out of the equation, right?
Mm-hmm.
So grab does nothing. Does nothing here.
Yeah, I guess on like Found and Yoshi's, it's probably a lot harder to get in spots like this. But like I think on Dreamland and like maybe Neptune,
I actually say that Yoshi's Story, it's actually pretty easy because the platforms are pretty spread out. I actually think Battlefield is really hard for this, and I'd say that Fountain is hit or miss.
Yeah, that makes sense actually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Fountain is just a weird stage, yeah.
You'll notice, also, look at all the amount of times he gets up tilted, and nothing happens.
Mm-hmm.
And there we go. That, like, that same position. Look, Jigglypuff slightly above the platform. Oh, I get a free hit. Let's go. Like, move on with my day.
Yeah, he's really good at playing under the platform against stuff. Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
I think that, but the thing is, it's like it's clear why this is working though, and I think that's the magic here. Because, like, it's just that the platform blocks her from doing stuff, so he's just, like, forcing her to be above them, and then, like, taking his free hits.
Yeah.
Like, he's gonna... The second she's above them in a second, he's gonna start doing his stuff again. The commentators have not figured out anything they've gone... So, there we go. Again! Like,
yeah.
And then he can start mixing in his downers. So, like, if you took this kind of approach to the matchup, where it's just, we're going to play for our good positions, we're going to, like, let her, like, we're going to figure this out piece by piece, we're going to take our free damage, we're just not going to play bad hands where possible, how do you think that would go?
Ideally, a lot better. It depends on how well I'd be able to do it. But I mean, it seems like a good plan, yeah. Like you said, like it makes a lot of sense, like why it's working, yeah.
I think certainly for Biggs levels, this makes a ton of sense.
Yeah.
I think that, like, you might... The one thing I find with you, when I compare how you play the matchup to how he plays the matchup, in congested layouts, it looks like you're a lot more willing to, like, fight the Jigglypuff head on. And I think that's really where, like, the source of, like, the trouble comes from. Because it's like, you're basically willing to, like, punch, like, Jigglypuff is like, alright, I am the king of this spot. And you're like, oh no you aren't. And then, like, Crudo would be like, alright, bet. Like, yeah, I guess you are. Like, I don't care.
probably fair. I think that's pretty accurate.
Yeah, but like I think that what I'm hoping we're taking from this is that it doesn't have to be that way.
Yeah.
And to be clear, I don't think that the Zelda strategy is like unplayable or anything like that on like the smaller levels, but I think I can totally see how it's not going to be adaptive to this kind of level. And I think that like if it looks like Crudo's strategy, though like it's more strict. Like what's interesting to me is that like even though this is traditionally like a strong Sheik level, Battlefield is the level where this looks weakest. Like if we take a look at how now maybe this is just because he needed time to get like the thing warmed up, but like you'll notice it looks like it looks kind of awkward with how this is supposed to work here. And I think it's because like yeah, it's harder to avoid things like that platform trap. Like, that probably should have been a kill.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I actually think that SDJ wins this one. Yeah, he has to, because, like, Crudo wins the next two.
Yeah.
So even though this is traditionally a good Sheik stage, like, yeah, I think that this level is actually, like, kind of dangerous for Jig. I think that this level is one I'm having to reconsider, like, in this metagame. For who's good here. Because I feel like it's so hard for like Sheik to have a good spot to like do things from in this matchup because of how congested the platform layout is.
Yeah.
Like there's no space in this middle area, which is where she like does a lot of her things from.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Some random dudes just like walking around like in the background, like adjusting the cameras. That's hilarious. This is like, God, we've come a long way with production. I don't know who that player is, but like he's doing a lot of work right now. Fixing the cameras. That's hilarious. The fact that he got that like CC grab by like drifting back into SDJ's fair. What a god.
Yeah.
An absolute beast. I wonder what I would have done here. So let's see here. So I see that air dodge. I think I fast fall and then turn around jab. I don't know if it works, but I think it's cool. So who's the real winner?
Seems like it could work. I don't know. Maybe the
real secret play is you fast fall, run off up B.
Insane, yeah.
It works though, because it's it hits frame 1, right? Because like
it's frame 1, yeah.
This is also a spot where you could fast fall up B, where you could run off up B. It doesn't. It's still like his play killed her, and mine gives her the chance to attack. But like stage spiking Jigglypuff with up B is a power move. It lets her know who's in charge.
I love stage spiking with up B, just like in general.
It's so sick.
Like if people are like holding ledge and they hold it too long, and they like double poof and they just like die. It's so funny every time.
Oh, know what you could do with that? Probably you could shoot needle, short up falling needle into like run off up B.
Yeah.
This is we're getting deep in the tank, but like it's I don't know the technology. I like it versus low percent. Sometimes I used to like it at low percent versus Falcon when he DI off stage from the down throw because you just run off and poof him. And it like pops them up, but like then they figured out that you can DI and stuff, and then I was like, ew, this is not cool.
Yeah,
So many things have been thwarted with DI over the years. But yeah, like we can see that like the fact that you're so encouraged to scrap in this middle territory, there's not as much room to zone and like keep people like box people, is like kind of the big problem for like Crudo in this spot. Because it means that SUJ has more access to him when they're just like fighting in that middle state territory. There's not as much space for like Kruta to back up in a with in a meaningful way.
Yeah.
Which is weird to think about, because like normally you're like, oh, battlefield, like Sheik level, but yeah, no, it's just not working out in that way. SDing at 82 probably helped, not gonna lie though.
Yeah. How do you feel about FD in this matchup?
Terrible. Worst level.
Yeah, I don't know, because I think I heard like J-Mook say like, yeah, I actually kind of like FD. Or it's like not that bad. And I was like, I have no idea how that's possible, but I guess he's figured something out. I don't know.
And maybe that's something to watch. I have to use the washroom real quick, so I'm just gonna hit pause on this for a second if that's cool, and we'll figure it out from there. All
right.
I'll be right back. No. Hello, hello.
Hello.
Okay, so J-Mook is saying that FD isn't so bad. That's weird. Let's look into that. So J-Mook Hungry Box. When did they play last? Warehouse?
Yeah. I remember seeing at least one set where he won an FD. I'm not sure if he did in this one.
Dreamland, Yoshi's.
I guess I didn't go there.
Maybe Battle of BC? Doesn't look like they played it here. When did they... Okay.
Maybe at FET?
Wasn't that like the drinking tournament?
No.
Okay.
I don't think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure, like let's take a look at this. So I don't love how, like, I get what he's doing. It makes sense. Like, he's kind of, like, playing diagonals well. I give him credit. Okay, so this is important. So this bit here. The fact that he gets to the side of Hungrybox and then comes down with, like, with a good fastfall timing mix-up is, like, quite important for, like, not dying to that up air instantly.
Yeah.
So that is key. I like the F tilt up air. I like that he's kept himself kind of like centered here. I would have liked to see him stop charging those needles sooner and go for up tilt or something, or like down tilt. But like, yeah, fair enough. Yeah, like that's a kill. Okay, kind of seeing it. So he's basically, like, okay, so the advantage of this level in general, like, the thing that you play for with this level in general is, like, a good advantage state. Like, good advantage state because there's no platforms to, like, really, like, mess with things or give the defender, like, more ways of, like, doing things. So, combined with his, like, good DI and such, like, I can kind of see it. I feel like Hungrybox is still getting a lot of, like, mileage out of his hits. Which I don't love.
Yeah.
But, like, because Hungrybox, like, it's kind of like a double-edged sword. Like, on the one hand, like, yes, on the one hand, yes, like, you can keep Jigglypuff in disadvantage more effectively, but by her just, like, doing her thing, she's bulldozed you into the other end. But then he manages to find this anti-air forward tilt off this, like, after this fair, which then gives him, like, a pretty big conversion. So I have a feeling that if he even gets, like, another hit... Okay, so he doesn't get another hit, but... Yeah, if he makes advantage state work, even just, like, for an extra hit, that's a big deal. I noticed that he's, like, after he does his, like, his up air, because there's no platform since you can't come down quickly, I noticed that he's just charging his needles all the way up a lot.
Yeah, that grab is so sick.
Yeah. How did he get that?
He, like, just stood there,
Stood there, walked a bit, and turned around grabbed. That's hilarious. What a god. What an actual god. And he's, again, we've got the needles charged right back up. I feel like this is kind of like what the Samus strategy is versus Jigglypuff, right? Like, like hit her away from the stage, fully charge your projectile, like move on with your day, you know?
Yeah.
So something I would have liked to see him do here is that, like, if I think that's Hungrybox has used his third jump there. 1, 2... So yeah, so Hungrybox has used his third jump here, which means that Hungrybox's next jump is going to be small. So something I would have liked to see is, like, using this as a landing punish. Like, I would have fired probably about here. Yeah, I feel like it was a little late. Maybe a frame or two sooner. But like the idea here is that like Hungrybox can't come over to me even if he does even if he jumps because of his small jumps. So we're just kind of like using the needles to like shark him kind of. You could even like make a case that he should be like charging the needles so they fire quicker.
Yeah.
Like once so the thing about Jigglypuff is her first 3 jumps are like big. Her last 2 are small. So, like, I feel like this could be worked into, like, a strategy with FD, where you're just kind of, like, where you're kind of counting her jumps and using the needles, like, when you're at those mid-screen positions or, like, full-screen positions more effectively. Like, that's what I'm kind of leaning towards.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's always something that I, like, yeah, I should really be, like, counting Jigglypuff's jumps or, like, being more aware of it, and I just... I always forget about it. I don't know, I definitely need to... Especially on this stage, yeah, because she has no platforms to go to.
Yeah. Like, she just doesn't really have as much to work with as she normally does. And that makes a pretty big difference overall. Like, I don't love these... Like, I like that he's, like, representing the needles, but I feel like he's just not using them as effectively as he could be. Like, he's doing a really good job of, like, a lot of the things he's doing with them is he's doing a really good job with. It's just, yeah. There's things that could be better. And it has to do with, like, knowing how Jigglypuff's jump affects these things. I will say he's shielding at really good times, though. Like, man, his patience here has been really good. He's shielding... Like, those needles were great. Like, those needles were really, really great. How did he get those? So he's got this. Boom. Yeah, that's kind of like the idea that I was talking about, like, where it's kind of like a whiff punish. See what I mean? Like, because Jigglypuff lands with back air, so then he just, like, dunks her. I feel like he could have honest attacked that or survived that, but I get it because actually I don't get it because like it's still the same direction you hold for the rest anyway. Never mind, I take it all back. I feel like we've learned a lot about the Sheik side of this matchup though from today. And kind of like thought about like how Jigglypuff, how Zelda could work into like more like congested layouts, but how a layout like this or like how this Dreamland, maybe Pokemon Stadium. Actually, weirdly, I feel like Zelda might be okay on Pokemon Stadium, but how a level layout like this Dreamland, like probably
I think especially here, I think Zelda is terrible on the stage. Like, I think this is definitely her worst stage.
Agreed.
Just like in general, yeah.
So, like, this Dreamland, probably Pokemon Stadium, probably Yoshi's... no, not Yoshi's Story. Probably... basically, the Tri-Plat levels, I'm getting the impression that Zelda probably works really well there. That are not, like, Tri-Plat levels that are not Dreamland, I can see Zelda working. And then I think on the big levels, I think that going all Sheik with something like... with more like what Jmook and Crudo are doing, I think makes a ton of sense.
Yeah, I agree. I think that makes sense.
Like it makes sense. Like it makes sense to play to our character's strengths, and I think that's thing. So like maybe I think maybe that's what we can probably jot down for our key takeaways. Like how would you word that?
Well, just play Sheik on FD and Dreamland and probably Stadium. I guess, and then. Like, well, yeah, what we talked about earlier with, like, playing Zelda and Puffs at low percent until, like, you can use a full stack of needles to get them into, like, F-tilt knockdown percent. Yeah, and then, like, there's the stuff we talked about with Crudo, which is, like, catching their landings on platforms. Either with like an aerial or like up tilt if it hits the platform. Talk about crouching instead of shielding. So you can like low profile Puff stuff and make them do late aerials to hit you. And we talked about, I don't know. Like the needle whiff punish thing that Jmook did. We just saw.
Yeah, needles as a whiff punish plus landing coverage after Puff is low on jumps. I'd also say that like counting, keeping track of Puff's jumps. First three are big, last two are small. To shark or position more effectively. Because the other thing is like it's not just a defensive thing. Like when she's low on jumps, you can also like kind of jump around her more effectively. So like a lot of times like Sheik like wants to come in like from upper diagonals, but like you can do that with just a short hop when her double jump is small, right?
Yeah.
So like that's a big deal. Crudo, be like see takeaways. No takeaway from Crudo. Yeah, like bailing on positions that aren't favorable. With wave dash or jumping for like or full hop, no full hops to top plat, no plus double jumps to top float to top plat. We also had crouching as emphasizing crouch more. Emphasizing crouch more than shield. Especially at low percent, at low to mid percent, to prevent shield. No, to prevent to make it harder for Puff to hit. No, to deny up tilt pop up from Puff, and make hitting Sheik hard, and make landing bears on Sheik hard. With J-Moog, takeaways from J-Moog. Yeah, I'd say that like F tilt, like after F tilts, after F tilt up into up air or similar U air combos, charging needles back up regularly.
Yeah.
To have that resource going into next stock, going into the next interaction. Yeah, I would say that all of that is like all of that should give you a lot to work with for the Puff matchup. I think that this makes a ton of sense. I think that's possible there might come a day, especially if you find the Sheik stuff on FD, PS, and Dreamland. If you find that to be successful, there may come a day where you might like wind up playing full Sheik in the matchup. But I mean, that's not exactly a bad place to be. So,
yeah.
Like if we find that that both these solutions like start to work better than what we're currently doing, and then like we just find one that like works even better, then like that's a very good problem to have. But yeah, would you say that like is this a good stop? Like I have somebody at this time, so is this a good stopping point? Are you happy with? Is there anything you want to add quickly, or do you think this is enough for the moment?
I think that was enough. Yeah, I think we went over a lot of different stuff.
Amazing. Yeah. I know that we don't normally do like get like this deep. It's been a bit since we got this deep into a matchup. Like I think the last time was Mushi's, but I'm glad. I hope this was helpful. I'll leave it with you, and good luck next time you fight Khalid.
All right, thank you.
All right, bye, Swiz.
Yeah.